Fear, raise our hands in the air, screaming, we are still here.
So my name is Hanan Mahmoud. I am from Benghazi, Libya. I currently work as an editor and a translator for a local online newspaper called the Libyan Address Journal. I am also doing my master's in applied linguistics at the University of Benghazi. The pandemic is a very important issue here. It sort of highlighted and exacerbated some issues. The ongoing civil war the country faced, strong deterioration in the health sector, and many other sectors as well, education and others. And sort of like the pandemic kind of like added more hardship to the existing challenges and the difficulties that the country faced. And another issue that the pandemic created was the fact that a lot of Libyans used to travel abroad, to seek health treatment because, due to the deteriorating health sector in the country. So that the traveling abroad used to be kind of like the lifeline and relief for a lot of Libyans because they can seek treatment in better hospitals abroad. But due to the travel restrictions that came after the pandemic, that was no longer available. And so the Libyans are basically stuck in a situation that is very, very bad. Due to the migration crisis in the Mediterranean, Libya has become sort of a transit country for a lot of migrants. And right now there are a lot of detention centers in which migrants are held. And, these detention centers, they are already in a very horrible conditions, and the United Nations and other international agencies have been calling for their closure. And after the pandemic, it seemed that less and less care are being placed into the well-being of migrants. The government is trying as much as possible to concentrate its efforts on the Libyans themselves, and yet they seem to be overlooking the situation of migrants. The NLN foundation sort of like, created a lot of initiatives that I think right now, especially with the pandemic and all, are much more important than ever, because initiatives like the Young Mediterranean Voices, as well as others by, for example, Erasmus Plus Virtual Exchange, the social circles, the facilitation training, the debate team leader training. I mean, all of this kind of like connected people from different parts of the world in a very easy way, like through online, and it kind of, at this time in particular, that is exactly what we all needed. Really, the pandemic highlighted how important it is, and that is the sense of community and coexistence, because living in a country where the leadership is failing its people, it was the people that kind of like helped each other out and helped elevate the pain and the difficulties of the situation. My message is to not ever underestimate the power of the community and what can do to bring about change. I can tell you, living in a country that it's where the hardcore of the conflict there is, people not seeing eye to eye and not hearing things from the perspective of the other. Debate really seems like a very, very important skill and something, to learn.